To you this morning about the lift service. I've been employed for 24 years, and this is the 6th contractor that I'm currently working under, First Transit. And basically, I just want to say we don't want to work for these people anymore. This is intolerable working conditions, and I'm asking you to please not contract us work anymore to this contractor. At least, could you send out a mailer to every lift driver at each yard? There's 450 of us, 3 different yards, and just ask us some basic questions. And if you continue the status quo where you're going to contract with this contractor, which I suspect that's what's going to happen, I'm here really to implore you to not contract the maintenance shop to this contractor, which is there after the shop. Currently, that is contracted to Penske. And having worked with the managers and the crew of the Penske shop for many years, I can tell you from anybody that's a mechanic up to any manager I've ever dealt with at Penske, they're gentlemen on a bad day. On a good day, they're your friends. They never say, I'm too busy, I can't check that bus out, no, we don't have time. That's never the response. If you take the shop and you give it to this contractor that we have to work for, that's not going to be the case. They can play a game called the romper room where they say they care about safety. That's the farthest thing from it. You know, it's really hard to come here and know that I don't really work for the transit agency and that they can terminate me fairly easy, even with the union. It's really hard to do this, but this is wrong. You know, the dream would be for us to go in-house, but at least could you please try somehow to imagine what it's like to work for this contractor. Why would I come here and tell you this? I have a family, I have bills, I have problems. I wouldn't lie to you. I have always loved driving these buses, picking up the disabled folks. That's great. That once we get our keys in our bus and we leave, that part of the job's fine. It's just these people who think that it's about them. It isn't. It's about getting decent drivers into those vehicles and going out and picking up disabled folks. It's not about them. It's about the service. I question if any of the management that I currently work for has ever been on a lift bus. And I directly speak to Dr. Bethel. I mean, he goes to the CAT committee. He knows these folks. He knows how this is. He deals with these people face to face. And I'm just asking you not to contract with these folks. Please don't give them the Penske shop, or it'll be worse than it already is. Hi, my name is Lisa Huffman. I've been a lift bus driver for 20 years, the entire time out of Multnomah County. And even though I'm a member of the Amalgamated Transit Union, I also work for the ATU. I have for many years. I'm really not here to speak about the union side of this. I'm here on behalf of working for First Transit. I've worked for several contractors. In those 20 years, I've always been picked up by each contract as it changes. Never had a problem with that. But working for First is difficult at best. Very, very difficult employer. I'm one of the lucky employees because I work at the union yard. Also Washington County, of course, is union. My heart goes out to the drivers on the 3rd property, the Clackamas County yard, which is non-union, and their management, they don't have the same kind of protections that we do. We happen to have nice managers on the union properties, and that I am very thankful for. But working for First, you went with First across the board the last time, except for one contract, which was the Penske contract for maintenance. So that's kind of like the Middle East, where you have Israel. You have one group now. You gave everything else to First. You gave the dispatch. You gave everything. employee for First that is in the dispatch, and they're speaking and running the computer and moving all these lift rides. They make less than $15 an hour. They're not allowed to have a drink at their desk. They're not allowed to have a water bottle with a lid on it. They're not allowed to have a cup of coffee in a closed thing. They can't drink at their workstation where they're talking. Those people are also non-union today that I'm speaking. They're just the dispatchers. Those few people sit in a room, move around all these rides, and control really a huge amount of expenditures. They really do, because unbelievably bright people, they move these rides around, try to keep us all on time and do all this work, and they can't have a drink of water. So I'd like to know if you guys could come in a little bit and look at First. Like I say, I work for a pretty nice guy, the manager where I work. So I don't have the issues that the other people do, but I'm not understanding why nobody comes to the board meetings if they're just worried they're going to lose their jobs. I'm really not sure. I always enjoyed being a Lyft bus driver. I like driving the disabled community. I've never had a passenger accident in 20 years. Never had a comp. Never hurt anybody. You know, I like working as far, anybody in a Trimet vehicle, I think that you guys need to look at who we have to work for. We're in your vehicles. So could you look at First a little bit closer? And I didn't even have to bring in the union side. It's just all 3 properties and all those people that work in the building at Trimet Lyft. I mean, and as far as the Penske shop, thank God you didn't give that to First too. So, thank you.